All right, welcome, Mama G here. We are starting our 4-week webinar series, and it's going to be short and sweet, but it is titled, So You Hate to Cook. So here's the deal. We all have these really fantastic goals that we aspire to in life, and eating is paramount to our success in life. In other words, we need to eat, and we really need to think about the quality of our food and our I don't want to say timing of eating in so much that you need to eat throughout your day so that you have fuel throughout your day, and that we provide ourselves with food sources that provide not only energy, which comes from the calories of our foods, but other things like vitamins and minerals and fibers and antioxidants and phytochemicals and joy. I think so many of these things are so important to us. So my goal for those of you who hate to cook is to really help you learn how to cook once and enjoy at least twice. And really that is the goal of the Mama G lifestyle. So I'm going to just go to a short and sweet little presentation for us. And we will then do a little video, little cooking together. So let me share my keynote with you all. And play. All right, so here we are together. So just want to, reiterate the title here. So you hate to cook. So let's cook once and enjoy at least twice. And this is a perfect example of a lemon chicken soup that I adore. And what I love about my soups and stewy type of foods is that we can enjoy in that moment, and then we can freeze portions or refrigerate portions for the future. And freezer is even better because it then stays till whenever you need it. And nothing is better than walking in for lunch or dinner and not knowing what you're going to eat, being starving, and knowing that within a few minutes on the stovetop or in the microwave, you can warm up this meal that not only was delicious the first time you had it, but it's going to be even better the second and third time you have it, because everybody's gotten to know each other in that time frame. So that really is the goal for all of us. And I always say to people, why are you here? If you hate to cook and you're looking at trying to reach some goals, weight maintenance, weight loss, weight gain, improving your health, feeling better, then this is the right place to be. This is what I'm here for, to not only, get you over the hate cooking aspect of it, but then to help you understand that somebody like me has the expertise, not only as a trained chef, but as a fitness professional in my entire adult life. So understanding the importance of exercise in people's lives, but really being a patient advocate for people with my bachelor's degree in dietetics and my master's in integrative and functional nutrition. I help you take the science and evidence of nutrition and put it on your plate in a really joyful way. So that's what our goal is. And I really want to remind everybody of the concept of conviviality, coming together with the fondness of feasting and drinking and being in good company, right? Putting devices away, having conversations, and really enjoying joyful food. So that is the goal when I work with my clients for the long haul. But in the short term, what are your goals, right? People have a lot of different reasons for coming to me, coming to other nutritionists, dietitians, physicians, naturopath, integrative doctors. We have so many people out there, personal trainers who, want to change your life. And, what is your goal? And that really is where it starts. And from there, we can talk about that fact that if there is, the goal of maintaining my weight, maybe improving my health at the same time, we talk about this area of homeostasis, where the calories in, right, that you're consuming have to balance your resting metabolism, which you don't have a lot of control over, and things like, how you digest your food and our activities of daily living, and things like thermodynamic heat, how much energy your body puts out, and then deliberate exercise. All of those things are a component. But I always have to say, look at deliberate exercise. It's not like this huge piece of the puzzle like your resting metabolism is. And that's what we have to realize. There are certain things we don't have a lot of effect of, but these colored things on the top are where we might have some effect. And those things can help aid with the tipping of the scale if that's where it needs to go. If we're looking at weight loss, where our food, energy, calories are less than the output, or if we're looking to gain some weight, gain some muscle, where we're going to consume more energy than we are putting out. And I always, tell people like, people are so focused on their exercise. And as a fitness professional, I want you to be committed. I want it to be a habit. But the fact is, you can't work off that, poor diet choice or those extra calories in your workout. You just can. And this is the perfect visual of, making a decision to go to McDonald's and having a treat or a splurge. Lots of people like to call it cheat meals. I'm not a fan of it, where it could be, really the amount of calories you should have consumed in your entire day. And then, I'm going to go do a workout. And most people, by the way, aren't going to be able to do boxing workouts or high intensity workouts. And so, the likelihood of burning even 500 calories, in that workout is slim to none. We're still at a calorie overload. Now, again, depending on what your goal is, I'd rather see you eat more wholesome food choices, right, that you love, as opposed to food choices like that, which are high in sodium, high in sugar, and high in fat. But again, at the end of the day, these are things that can be part of your life as treats and splurges, but they are not going to change the trajectory of your health nor the trajectory of your weight. So really, we need to get fit in, get fit in the gym or walking outside or whatever your choice of exercise is in. But we want to improve our health, lose weight, maintain our weight, gain weight in the kitchen. And, so how do we lose weight without counting calories or whatever your goal has to be? That's where Mama G comes into play, and where I really talk about this healthy eating pattern. And that's one of the goals that I have for all of you out there and clients that I work at, and really assessing your reality versed on your expectations. And this is where people will say to me, like they're envisioning their ideal body, what they weighed in high school or college or when they got married, before they had kids. And what I want you to envision is your body today, and what your goals are today, that you want to improve your health, that you want to gain energy, that you want to feel better. And with that health improvement, not only do we want to stabilize blood sugar and improve your blood pressure and improve your blood sugar, so many things like that, decrease your risk of cardiovascular disease by improving your cholesterol levels. But, where does your weight fit in there? Do you want to maintain your weight? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to lose weight? That's what we need to think about now, not what this idealized version of you is, but where you are today and how I can meet you where you are and help you get there. Because this is the reality of the aging process, right? That we go from, from crawling, to potentially being in a situation where we're going to need help at the end of our life. And really what I'd like to do is help keep you moving on your own and keep you independent till the end, and realize the value of food, of medicine, realize the value of preventative health care, and utilizing pharmaceuticals when needed to help us extend our lives in a independent way. I don't think there's anybody out there that wants to do this without being independent. So what we're going to do during this webinar series is talk more about this healthy eating pattern and about getting more wholesome food on your plate. And this is a generalized healthy eating pattern that people talk about, a quarter of the plate coming from your lean proteins, a quarter of your plate coming from starches and grains, which should and could be part of your life. And then really trying to get in a large portion of that plate from your non-starchy vegetables, which we already know most of us are lacking in, especially those of us who consume the standard American diet, which we always say is very sad, standard American diet. So I want to show you Mama G's idea, and we'll be sending these out to you as a little freebie to you. But this is our healthy breakfast plate. I think what's really important is that we want to think about that starch or grain that we talked about in that healthy eating pattern. And so you can see things like whole grain toast. We can think about, in a breakfast smoothie, that we can include something like throwing in some fiber options, like some rolled oats. We can think about our oatmeal, is the rolled oats, but how do we partner that to make it something that makes us feel full and stabilize our blood sugar and all those things that we want to accomplish in a meal. And then we've got this Mama G's Euro Brekkie, which is the yogurt and low sugar cereals such as muesli or something like that, partnered with nuts and fruit as well. And then really understanding the value of adding a protein-rich calcium serving into our life, whether it's a dairy serving or something like a soy milk or other type of beverages and food stuff that are rich both in protein and calcium into your life, and to be able to do that at breakfast. And then we think about adding other things in, like beautiful fruits, which is a perfect opportunity to do that for breakfast. And we can add in things like nuts or chia seeds or hemp seeds that are going to help us bring in some healthy fats and help us be satiated. But I want to move on to that healthy lunch or dinner plate, where again, we talk about those starchy grains up in the right-hand corner, where we're looking at really all types of food stuff. Not only are we talking about things like rice and quinoa and oats and whole grain breads and pastas, but we're talking about things like corn and peas and potatoes and hard-shelled squashes, all part of this starch and grain category. We look at lean proteins. And again, we're not talking about a vegetarian or a vegan, which we could. And, if you're in that scenario, I'm happy to work with you in that particular realm. But most people are omnivores. They do consume animal products. And what we're trying to get you to do is consume less of them. Use them as like a accoutrement, like I do with my glasses or my necklaces, right? It's part of your outfit, but not your entire outfit, but certainly most important in your life. So we talk about these lean proteins and how important they are for you. We talk about the value of healthy fats, and that usually comes in as things that are toppings or sauces or how you cook things or a combination of those things. And then really on the left-hand side here are non-starchy vegetables being a large portion of our meal, which is really what is missing out for most people. So that is kind of the focus of what we're going to talk about when we move into this beautiful meal that we're going to cook together now. So this is a recipe we're going to provide for you. It's our Thai chicken lettuce wraps. And when we delve into the recipe a little bit, because we're going to be providing this for you, I want you to see that the first part of this recipe really is the sauce. And so whether or not you make a sauce from scratch, like I provided for you here in terms of our recipe, we can also use a bottled sauce, in Trader Joe's, at Whole Foods and Sprouts and your local grocery store are great places to be able to find a sauce where we're going to use in moderation, but that really can add a lot of joy and flavor to this beautiful lettuce wrap meal. So again, we can replace this sauce that we can make at home versus a favorite sauce of yours. We want to come up with that lean protein source. So in this case, we're going to use a pound of a 93.7 ground turkey. You could certainly sub the same 93.7 ground turkey or beef, or you could add in any other lean protein option that you like. But again, in this recipe, to make it quick and easy and something that you can repeat on a weekly basis, I want to show you how you can swap that in and out. And then we're going to talk about, we've got this amount of oil. We're going to take half of the oil in this case, which is a tablespoon of sesame oil, which lends flavor to this Asian theme. And we're going to saute a large amount of our vegetables that condense once the water is cooked out of them, and then provide so much fiber and nutrition and joy and flavor to our foods. So we're able to take, a tablespoon of sesame oil and saute these vegetables. By the way, the mushrooms are already going to be sliced when I buy them. And the only really cutting of vegetables that are going to happen, and you'll see that in the little video in a minute, is going to come from some red pepper that we're using here. Then we'll take those things and put them into into a bowl where we'll also put our ground chicken that's already been cooked, and we'll heat that oil up again, and we'll saute our shredded carrots already done for you, the broccoli slaw already done for you, and then a can of chopped water chestnuts already done for you, which means that we're not sweating this out because everything's already prepared for us at our local grocery store, and we're able to bring it home and then throw this into a beautiful quick meal. And at the end of it, we can add some cornstarch. We add our sauce to it in this case, whether the one we made from scratch or a bottled sauce of about 1/3 of a cup. And then we pick out our beautiful lettuce wraps and some green onion on the top, and we're good to go. The beauty of Mama G recipes, so is it tells you how many servings there are. It tells you how many calories per serving. And then for most of my recipes, you're going to see my goal is to get you those non-starchy vegetables that we're really missing out on. And you can see within this recipe, we've gotten 70 something calories per serving for each serving from this recipe, which is really something I'm trying to get more of in your life, and you can start to enjoy these beautiful non-starchy vegetables and see the value in your life, not only in terms of bulking up your plate, adding volume, but in your flavor profile and then in your health. And then you'll also see that we'll show you the way to finish off the recipe. In this particular recipe, easily able to grab something like frozen brown rice at Trader Joe's or at your grocery stores, where we just heat up a half a cup or 3 ounces per serving. You're able to have this on the side. You're able to mix it up within your portion of your Thai chicken veggie mix, or you can actually throw the whole 6 servings worth into your recipe, and that just becomes part of your serving. We've got directions for you, which are really useful. We tell you if you want to actually put this into something like a tracking program like MyFitnessPal, you can do that as well. And then I'm always giving you recommendations. So let's just get to it, and we'll watch this together. All right, Mama G here. So we are getting ready to start our, so what if I hate to cook? What do I do? Well, that's where we're going to help you learn to pull together some really great meals, ethnic meals, cultural meals that you love, comfort meals that you love, in just a few minutes. And you cook once and you get to enjoy more than once, depending on how many people you have in your family. So just want to throw together our easy chicken lettuce wraps. And this is where, in all honesty, you can use whatever vegetables you want. I like Mama G recipes because I'm making sure you're getting appropriate protein, appropriate fat, the appropriate amount of non-starchy vegetables, all these things that you need in your life to make you feel full, to be satisfied, to allow you to enjoy that meal, to have satisfaction and satiety to your next meal or snack, so that if you are somebody out there who wants to lose weight, like so many people today, we can actually help you do that because you're not starving. You're not doing a restrictive and punitive diet approach. And that way we can really help you achieve your goals of losing weight and achieve my goal, hopefully soon to be your goal, of living a long, healthy, independent, joyful life, which means that we're going to reduce your risk of lifestyle diseases that come from being overweight or having to deal with obesity. And we're talking about heart disease and stroke and high blood pressure and colorectal cancers and so many cancers that are attached to being overweight and obese and et cetera, et cetera. So just want to really reiterate that we are using ground turkey here. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Never use this is ground chicken. Never use breast. Always use 93.7, which you can get most anywhere. I happen to have all my ingredients today from Trader Joe's, which is really nice, because maybe that's the store you shop in, or maybe you go to a Sprouts, or maybe a Whole or Kroger, or there's so many big chain grocery stores, and you can get your food stuff, Walmart, Target now, and you should be able to find all of these things for you on Mama G recipes, which is really nice. But the 93.7 ground turkey and the 93.7 ground beef and the 93.7 ground chicken can all be used interspersed with one another. But I really love the taste of the ground chicken. So we've got that going here. Sometimes you see a 90-10, sometimes I think this is a 92-8. Just don't go with the breast of the chicken or the turkey ground because it has no flavor and it tastes like cardboard. So all we're doing right now is just getting this going and letting it maybe brown a little bit, cook all the way through. And then we're going to do our the bulk of the vegetables that are going to, shall we say, beef up our chicken. I mean, a lot of times when you go to a restaurant, you'll see like lettuce wrap, it'll be chicken, and you'll have just a little tiny bit of vegetables in there to add some color, maybe some flavor, and lots of sauce. And this is where we get in trouble. We really need to improve upon the standard American diet, which is so sad. And we really want to increase the amount of plants you have in your life and really utilize the animal products in your life as an accoutrement. So it's just like I've got my necklaces and my glasses. It's part of our meal should we choose to have it. But it is only part. It is only there to add flavor, to add protein in this case. If you choose to consume, be what I would consider a flexitarian or an omnivore, meaning that I eat everything, but certainly
we eat a mostly plant-based diet. A little bit of the wholesome coming from our animal sources. Now our turkey is chicken is almost ready. I should know that because it's lighter color. But I'm gonna let it brown just a moment here. And I want to just talk to you a minute about the lettuce. So lots of options. People will say, oh, well, iceberg lettuce, it has nutrition. At the end of the day, lettuce greens are really light. And so in order to get a lot, you would have to have a big bag full to get, you know, what I'm looking for, which is somewhere around 75 calories of non-starchy vegetables. At the end of the day, it's nothing for lunch and dinner. But in the spectrum of your life and most people's lives, they're not getting it. So the lettuce cups are really the vehicle to hold the delicious, nutritious food in there. So if you like iceberg lettuce, go for it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just slam it down here with my left. Watch, I'm gonna hit the core on the ground without my boogle hand. And at that point, look at it. The core comes out. And now look. You can take off your cups. Now this lettuce has been around for a little bit. So I would go, you know, straight to the pieces that are crisp. And then you can rinse them, which will help make them a little bit more crisp. But now you've got these beautiful crispy lettuce cups, right? And this is what you're going to see at somewhere like PF Garden, PF Chang. So again, nice head of lettuce, not boring so much about the nutritional value coming from the lettuce, because again, it's simply the vehicle, and that crisp feel is going to partner really nice with the warm bite that's coming from everything else in here. Or you can do the bib. Now it doesn't seem the bib. It's usually alive. Not that you could plant it again, but I guess you could. You can see it right there. So again, you would tear out the roots kind of like I did right there, and then you're simply able to pick off your cups, and they're going to be different sizes of cups, and you just clean them all and have a big bowl of the lettuce there for your family, friends, whoever you're serving to enjoy. All right, let me get this turkey out. Oh, yeah, I got a turkey bug because I don't know that I could live without ground turkey. I will tell you that I use ground turkey every week. It is an automatic in our life that we buy ground turkey on a weekly basis, and I just love the flavor. One of those things that I would have to take to the desert island with me, I think, along with all of my beautiful vegetables, which I could grow on the desert island, right? All right, so there is our pound of 93.7, or in this case at Trader Joe's, I think it was 92.8, and that's the percent. And we've got that set to the side. And you'll see there's no liquid. If you were cooking some 80-20 ground beef, holy smokes, talk about a lot of fat coming out of that. So again, we want to be able to lend ourselves to reducing our risk of lifestyle disease, including heart attack and stroke. And so we really need to watch the saturated fat in our life. So super hot pan. And this is where I'll tell you, you can add any vegetables that you want, but because every vegetable is different, I would suggest you to take advantage. And what I've done for you here is I've taken mostly vegetables that are already prepared. So this is the broccoli slaw that I bought at Trader Joe's. It's 12 ounces. The recipe calls for 10, but who cares? We'll get a little bit extra. We've got some shredded carrots. Again, the recipe calls for probably a little bit less. I'm going to throw all of that in here. Oh, this is hard work. Woo! Leave in here. We've got some mushrooms. Now, these are already sliced. If you don't like mushrooms, leave them out, put something else in. But these are cremini. I think they add a little bit more of a meatier flavor. You can chop them up more if you want them chopped up. You can buy whole mushrooms and chop them, whatever floats your boat. And then lastly, well, not lastly, but leastly, red pepper. This I did have to slice up. And you can see that I just cut thin slices and then I cut them in half. And we're going to dump that in there as well. And the piece de resistance is a can of chopped up water chestnut for the crunch. So you can see how many vegetables I have in here. Very different than that which you might have at your favorite Chinese place, right? So that's the point here, is that we really have to increase the amount of plants in our life, and there's really no better way to do that than to get a beautiful saute going. And again, whatever the culture is, it happens to be Asian cuisine, Chinese specifically, we're going to now make a sauce. So the sauce, which I've already put in here, and I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, is soy sauce, and I use low sodium, peanut butter, wholesome sauce, some honey, some sweet chili sauce, garlic powder, and ground ginger. Warm that up for about 30 seconds. Use a little whisk and stir it up, and now it's ready to go in. The thing is, this thing, about a third a cup of sauce, buy a pre-made sauce. Whether you like a peanut sauce, Trader Joe's has so many wonderful things, as do your choice. Maybe you want a teriyaki sauce. Whatever floats your boat. We can take this same amount, again, about a third of a cup, and utilize it in this recipe. So we really want this to be hot, and I happen to have a very, very hot burner. So for you, depending on your stove top, if you feel like you don't have a big pan like this, or a wok style, or your burners aren't very hot, then I would say maybe use half the vegetables with half a tablespoon of oil, get that sauteed up, do the other half, and then bring everything back together with the sauce, and you'll be good to go. All right, now, you're probably not thinking it, but Mama D is thinking this. Well, Mama D, I know that we need protein. This is our big source of animal protein. We certainly can get protein from our vegetables. I would want to be adding in some more protein powered vegetables like soybeans or edamame perhaps. But really the vegetables is where we're getting our fiber, our vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, and so much more. And really bulking up our plate so that we are full, right, when we're done with the meal. We've got the sesame oil, which adds a fantastic flavor to this Asian cuisine. And we've got peanut butter in here as well that's giving us the fat that we need to make us feel full. Now, that's everything. It'd be good to go. We throw it in those lettuce cups and away we go. But now, Mama G is a really big fan of protein rays. Now, I'm not a fan of the white stuff. I'm not a fan of the highly processed, ultra processed, especially high sodium, high fat, refined flour stuff. But I am a big fan of whole grains and plant powered starches like potatoes and sweet potatoes and so many other beautiful things. So, well, that's getting better. I buy at Trader Joe's as well. And I probably have two boxes, but I use 2 types of their brown rice, which is the brown rice medley, which has got some black rice and some other grains in here, which is really lovely. And then I also keep just the brown rice in here as well. And then if it's just for me, I can just defrost, about 3 ounces, a half a cup. It's the perfect portion for Mama T. And pairing that with my protein source, my vegetable source, on those lettuce cups, those beautiful sauces. Then again, you can do the rice cooker, you can put the rice on top of the stove, whatever you like. I like to do things like this in the fridge. For when we are in need. The other thing I want to show you is I want to show you the Dorat garlic and ginger. Now, Trader Joe's also carries basil, I believe, but you can see they're little cubes. And it's basically, for the garlic, it's like a cube or a clove of pureed garlic. And I love it with the ginger as well. So again, things that just make your life a little easier. You want to do a little saute with a little garlic, olive oil, salt and pepper, a little Italian seasoning. You got it all together. Trader Joe's and other markets are going to be able to let you do these things without having to buy the head of garlic and toss the head of garlic and then puree and mince the head of garlic. So again, we're getting to the point where I don't really want this to be mushy, but this is when you get to take this to what is perfect for you. All right. So what is al dente in the Italian world? A bite. I kind of think it's the same way with the vegetables. I like a little bit of a bite with mine as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add my sauce. Perfect here. And again, just get everybody to get to know each other. If you would like this to cook a little bit more and have the vegetables a little bit softer, I would go ahead and cover it. Now I'll tell you what, I bought this pot. I love this sauce pan. I bought it at Costco. And whenever it goes on sale at Costco, I buy another one. I usually give it a gift as well because I think it's fantastic because it's ginormous and it also has a lid. How fantastic is that? All right, so that lid will allow it to steam a little bit, allow the water to come out, will allow the vegetables to get a little bit softer if that's what you're looking for. But I'm, not necessarily looking for that. So again, I wanted to just show you that I think it's really important to have a nice non-stick, large sauce. We're going to call this a sauté pan with a lid that's non-stick. I'll say it again. All right, so based on the vegetables that I'm using today, that's based on my heat. I'm not really having a lot of liquid here. So I'm going to take my sauce and I'm going to add a little water to this to get all of the goodies off the sides, as my mother would teach me, like when we're using canned tomato products. We definitely, as Italians, put some water in there and make sure that we're getting every last drop of it, the old waste not, want not mentality. And this is beautiful. Now, if this was very liquidy, and it's not, I could certainly add some cornstarch and water. So if I want to make this a little bit more saucy, I'm going to leave you for a second. I'm going to add some more water to this tablespoon of cornstarch. And then this will go ahead and pull everything together for us. So we'll throw that in, and we're just going to bring it all together. Now, we'll give this a little taste. You can add a little more soy sauce if you like. You could add a little salt and pepper if you want. But at this point, you want it to have a nice flavor profile, and then you want to leave the accoutrement to everybody else. You can certainly serve this with some sliced green onions on an angle, right? So you can have that in a little bowl. You can put some chopped peanuts or chopped cashews or slivered almonds. Set that aside. You can have some sesame seeds that are toasted to serve as well. And you can also serve some sauces on the side if you wanted to have a little bit of extra sauces. But at the end of the day, let's just give this thing a taste. So give it one more stir. Now, I also want to let you know that this is 6 servings. So we use 1 pound of ground chicken for 6 adult servings. Now, I'll tell you that the majority of my clients who are working with Mama G are female. So I always call them my avatars, women who are looking to lose weight in most cases. Some want to gain weight to improve their health. Everybody wants to improve upon their health, but you will see that this is a ginormous portion. If you weigh the whole batch and divide it by 6, if you just simply, make a little pie, cut up here and kind of divide it into 6 portions, it's a very, very large portion. And so I think portion is important, especially for my clients who are trying to hit their calorie budget to reach their weight goals. It's not so important for everybody else in the family if there's not a weight goal that's attached to it, but you need to make sure you're getting your portion. I don't want you to undereat and I don't want you to overeat. And I want you to be able to be satisfied and really find joy in that food and really start to see what a portion looks like. Honestly, it's delicious. So what I'd be doing, cleaning up all my lettuce cups, presenting them on a big platter. I would put the 6 portions into some cute little bowls for the people that are eating with me. The portions that I have left over, let me show you. We've got all kinds of tips and tricks for you. Is definitely going into my little Tupperware right here. Not Tupperware, right? That's a brand name, right? And it's going to have Mama G written on it. And I'll partner that with some with my rice, my 3 ounces of rice or so that I'm going to have, and some lettuce cups. because tomorrow I'm hopping on a plane. And at that point in time, I will be taking this with me to the airport. And guess what? This goes right through TSA. There's no liquid involved here. So just understand that, we have so many options in life. I'm going to get more than one serving out of this. I love a lot of my recipes that I can stick in the freezer. I wouldn't necessarily put this in the freezer. I would make sure that this gets eaten up, or I'd share it if I needed to. But half a cup of rice, about 3 ounces of a brown rice per se. You can also do red rice and black rice. There's so many of them. You can eat it separately in a little bowl. You can put it into each serving. And at the end of the day, you have the opportunity to achieve your weight goal, one meal and snack at a time, and also have the opportunity to live a long, healthy, independent, joyful life.
All right, my friends. So delicious. And I actually took all 6 servings, put them in a double Ziploc bag container, and put it in my suitcase. I could have carried it on, but I carried it through, the security, and no problems. And my sister and I had it for dinner tonight, and I cannot wait to be eating it for lunch in a few minutes here. So again, beautiful meal partnered with a starcher grain of your choice, and we achieved this healthy plate, right? All of those vegetables we can see here on the left side here. We got our starcher grain, and in the case of brown rice or whatever you like to partner with that, and then we had that lean ground chicken, and also using sesame oil as that healthy fat to help really bring the flavor profile together, and that lovely little sauce as an accoutrement. And really what I want to tell you is, you can do this with any meals. I tend to build things in portions of 6. Clients can cut these things in half if they want. So depending on if you're single, if you have family, if you want to freeze things, again, cooking once, enjoying more than 1 serving, but always think about a pound of your lean animal protein. If you're using the ground stuff, a shredded chicken, whatever you want. I always say, try to come up with about 400 to 500 calories of non-starchy veggies. And you'll note that, I consider starchy vegetables, things like potatoes and sweet potatoes, corn and peas, and most of our hard-shelled squashes. So it's really everything else. And like I said, when I chose these vegetables at Trader Joe's, you can buy stir-fry vegetables and so many other things. The package will tell you how many servings, how many calories per serving, and you can actually buy around this 400 or 500 calories to use in your little throw together. It can be a sheet pan meal. It can be a sauteed meal like I did here today with you guys. And then we want to have that, 600 to 750 calories of starcher grain. Again, with the rice portion, we talked about 3 ounces or so, about a half cup. It's about 120 calories. That fits in here. If you want to use whole grain pasta that you're throwing into, a big saute pot or soup, that's where this kind of comes from for those 6 meals. Again, if you're cutting it in half, it'll be half the amount. We think about a healthy fat in this particular recipe that was built for all of you. We're talking about 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, but again, depending on the sauce you're using, or if you're serving it, maybe topping something with avocado or nuts, we won't use as much fat. But again, these are just kind of guidelines for you. And then in this particular case, for this particular stir fry, we used about a 1/3 cup of sauce, whether you make it from scratch following the recipe or you buy a bottled sauce that you enjoy as well. So again, Mama G does a lot of the heavy lifting for her clients. I always tell people it's much easier to change a man's religion than it is to change his diet. You can say that, talk to any dietitian about that. But I want to just introduce you to our Tasted Mama G Recipe Club. Just like the recipe we're providing for you in this 4-week webinar series, you'll get one every week. This is an opportunity to get all of our recipes at your fingertips on our website, only available to our clients. And we're giving you, little tips and tricks. And every week you get a newsletter highlighting a particular recipe. And we do live cook-alongs every month. That we cook a whole meal with you. And it's really an opportunity to start to improve your nutrition, start to learn to love to cook. And so if you have any interest in that, know that's available to you. We also are getting ready for our 12-week virtual group program that starts on May 1st. I have lots of opportunities. We are starting to interview clients for that, because it's really only for a certain segment of clients that are really looking for what I'm doing in this with the education and the accountability. But I do offer a complimentary 30-minute call For anybody who's interested in our 12-week program, I have early bird discounts that are happening now and a soft start as well. So I'd love to talk to you more about that. So you can find us on our website, or you can message me through social media. And at the end of the day, if you don't know it yet, Mama G always says it's not about what you lose. It's all about what you gain. I'm hoping that you will have a joyful meal, and we look forward to seeing you for the next 3 weeks here in April. Take care.